Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now being 6 o'clock, I declare the meeting open and look forward to having a fruitful conversation with you all. I'd also like to now offer an acknowledgement of country. We wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting on, the Wandandi people. We wish to acknowledge and respect their continuing connection to the land, waters and community. We pay respects to all members of the Aboriginal community and their culture, to elders past and present, their descendants who are with us today and those who will follow in their footsteps. Now move on to item 2, the record of attendance and apologies. We have apologies from Councillor Montgomery and from Gary Clark, the Acting Chief Executive Officer. Then as a consequence, we have Ms Chamberlain acting as the acting CEO. I think that's the term, and welcome her into that role. Item 3, response to previous public questions taken on notice. We have none, but we do have a number of questions, public question time, item 4, and we have the first item is a question from Mr M Norton of Capel. The question is, Mr Norton, I don't believe is with us tonight, so I'll read the question that he's left with us. The questions relate to Corporate Business Plan 2025-29. Can you explain in detail Corporate Business Plan number, executive number 19? Action, buoying up sales yard, capital redevelopment. Action description, capital upgrades in accordance with lease condition timelines. Core business, what is the core business and how do the sales yards upgrades fit into core business? 4 years of tick boxes, do they have any money in them or is there some other box? The response, the Shire's core business on this matter relates to the ongoing compliance management of the lease, not the delivery of funding of capital upgrades. The capital upgrades are a component considered within compliance oversight. As the facility is operated by a private entity, the Shire has no financial obligations to contribute to any capital works on the site. Within the corporate business plan, the ticks reflect that the project, being the Shire's role in monitoring and managing the lease compliance, will continue across the 4-year period covered by the plan. I now move on to the next question from TNF Brockman from Stirling Estate. Question 1, where can we see a detailed plan of the proposed bike path given that the majority of it runs along our eastern boundary? We have all we have been able to see is an aerial view with a red line. The reply, the design for the path is still in development. The final concept will be made available for comment on the Shire's community engagement platform, Connect Capel, once the design meets the Shire's expectation and aligns with the relevant standards and guidelines. The concept design will then be further developed into a detailed design. There are numerous large mature tuits and peppermints along the proposed path, with the National Park already classed as being in a fragile state. We need access from our gate to the reserve for the Water Corporation to enter our property to open up minimum cut as well as fire mitigation access. Question 2. Will the newly elected Shire President and Councils have any of them been to this area to see what is proposed? Reply. Councillors have not been out to the site. Once we have a project design that defines the location of the cycle path, we will host a site meeting. The normal process is that councillors visit the sites when a matter is on the committee or councillor's agenda, not before. I think I'm able to say, as a matter of an ad hoc response, the response to the actual the question about numerous large tuit and peppermints along the proposed path, the council is very, very aware of that, and the route that's being proposed and will ultimately be put to council for endorsement or support will be, I no doubt, take into account those particular aspects. Thank you. We now move on. Anyone?
If there's any public questions from the floor.
I'm sorry, my minder here has reminded me to invite, is there any other questions from the floor, from the public? Yes, sir, would you like to come forward and state your name and location, please?
Yeah, Richard Lee, Tipley Street, Boynup. I'm here on behalf of myself and a few others to get an update on what's happening with the tiny houses project. Last time I was here, I was advised it was just still under consideration. We haven't heard anything back on that one. I'd like to know if Tipley Street is going to be opened up again, and I would like someone from the council to meet us out in Tipley Street and go over the state of the street, where the verges and the trees that are dropping down in our street. There's no spraying's been done. Local residents like myself have been doing all the spraying.
Is that a question or a statement?
The question is, can I have someone from the Shire come out and meet us in our street to go over some of our issues that we have?
Okay, thank you. I think I'll refer that to our director in this regard. So, please.
Thank you. Look, I'll address the question in the two parts. In respect to the development application for the tiny homes proposal, that is still with officers. There's been a series of technical matters that the proponent is still working through with the Department of Health and the Shire officers. It's likely that that application will come back to council, given that there are significant community submissions, both for and against the proposal, and the next available council is in January, late January. So that's likely to be when that application will be considered. It certainly won't be dealt with under any form of delegated authority. In terms of meeting on the site, look, if we can exchange details, and I can arrange for staff to meet you out there to go through your issues pertinent to Tipley Street.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for the question. Any other questions from the public? Could you please state your name and location, please?
My name is Margaret Nix and I live in Weld Road in Capel. I'm here on behalf of all the people who are playing pickleball in Capel. We've been playing in here at the community centre on 2 courts, but to date I have recorded 29 people who've played, and that makes it sort of unviable for 29 people on 2 courts. And they are badminton courts. They're not quite right for pickleball, but it's okay if we've got nothing else. So what we're asking is that can we please move to, or some of us move to the hard courts, which are very rarely used, but it would need lines marked on the courts. And I have approached a few times. I haven't really got a proper response yet. Everybody said, yes, great idea. And I've spoken to Chloe, who said that she would pass it on to Parks, Natural Environment, etc., because I believe they're the people who would do the line marking. But again, I haven't had a response back from them. But we're very keen to get something happening before Christmas, because Bustleton Pickleball has had to move to Vass because the tennis courts there are no longer available to them because of their competitions that they run. They would be happy to travel to Capel. I've spoken to Bunbury. Bunbury are very supportive. I play in Bunbury myself, driving there twice a week to play, as well as play here. And they said they will give us every support that they can, and they are quite happy for Capel people who play pickleball to be under their umbrella. So we wouldn't actually have to form our own club at this stage because we're just in the very early stages. They will support us, and all I'm really asking is, can we have permission to either have the courts painted voluntarily, or can the parks people actually come and paint them for us? That's my question.
Do you like to answer that? Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you. Through the chair, it may be improbable to be able to get them marked before Christmas, but one of the solutions that we were hoping, or I was hoping that Chloe was discussing with your club or your group, was that there's no issue with access. That's not a problem. One of the ideas that we came up was to see if we could use some fairly robust tape as opposed to the volunteers painting it, and the type of stuff you get at Bunnings, like that bear tape. So that's the sort of thing we could do in the short term, and then that allows us time to do a bit more of a feasibility around the cost of painting it permanently. But in answer to your question, it's not an improbable request. So yeah, if you're happy to reach out to Chloe or myself as early as next week, we can start that process for you.
That'd be fantastic. I actually have looked up on the internet and they've recommended a certain type of tape that has been trialled before. Plus, Bunbury has marked the hard courts at the back of the tennis club in Bunbury with tape. So before you do anything much, it's probably worth talking to them, and I can give you a phone number if you like to talk to the person that I've been in contact with in Bunbury regarding this.
That would be great. Thank you, through the chair.
I think that's a very satisfactory response to your question. I think the communication between the two of you should be embarked upon.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Any other questions? There being no further questions, we then move on to applications for leave of absence. Do you have any applications for leave of absence? Councillor McCleary?
Yeah, I was after leave of absence for the January and February meetings.
We need a motion, don't we? Yes. Could I have a motion to accept Councillor McCleary's application? Councillor Sharp? Councillor Shiano? I'll put that motion. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Declarations of interest. I have one declaration of interest from Councillor McCleary as a impartiality item pursuant to the Delhi Up Beach Surf Lifesaving Club. There is a matter on the business paper in respect to that this evening, and as Councillor McCleary says, he's not an active member and does not play a role in any executive decisions of the club. So I believe we can accept that as impartiality. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor McCleary. Notice of items to be discussed behind closed door. I do point out item 20.1 will be dealt with behind closed doors. Do we need the motion now? No. And when we get to the item, we'll take the motion to move it behind closed doors. Then there is a recommendation in terms of the confirmation of minutes. There was a special council meeting on the 22nd of October 25. Can I have a mover to accept the minutes, please? Deputy Shire President, moved, seconded Councillor Voyers. Put that motion. Those in favour? Declare that carried unanimously. The minutes for the council meeting for the ordinary meeting of the 29th of October to be confirmed as a true and correct record. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Voyers, seconded Councillor McCleary. Put that motion. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Announcement by a person presiding without discussion. I have no particular announcements to make. We now have a petition from Wendy Bourne from the Elgin Hall Committee. We'll be presenting on the plans for the ablutions at Elgin Hall. Thank you.
Good evening, Shire President, councillors and executive. My name is Wendy Bourne and I'm here on behalf of the Elgin Community Hall. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. The Elgin Hall is a much-loved community venue that continues to play an important role in the social life of our district. The Elgin Hall Social Committee was formed in the 1980s and has since then actively maintained and supported the hall in a variety of ways. Over the years, our volunteers and the friends of the committee have undertaken repairs and maintenance, often using their trade skills. We have also successfully obtained government grants to assist with Shire-led renovations and advise the Shire on maintenance issues when other avenues were unavailable. These efforts reflect the committee's ongoing commitment to ensuring that the hall remains a safe, functional and welcoming space for the community. However, one long-standing issue continues to limit the hall's accessibility and inclusiveness: the existing toilet facilities. These facilities were installed in the early 1980s and consist of only 2 domestic-style cubicles, with no accessibility amenities. As a result, they no longer meet the needs of many hall users, particularly elderly community members and people with mobility challenges. In addition, the committee has observed that the current ablution facilities do not align with contemporary accessibility expectations, or what we understand to be current building standards for assembly-type facilities. While this reflects the committee's interpretation rather than a formal engineering advice, it highlights the practical challenges for community use and the potential compliance concern for a Shire-owned asset. As the custodians of the hall, on behalf of the committee has developed a concept layout to explore options for the upgrade. We recognise that the Shire is best placed to ensure statutory compliance, undertake the design development and deliver the works on Shire-owned infrastructure. Tonight, we respectfully ask the Council to support the committee by leading this upgrade, including the design, approvals, compliance and delivery, using the concept we have prepared as a starting point and refining it to meet the Council and regulatory requirements. Based on similar projects in regional Western Australia, we estimate the cost of this upgrade to be around $50,000 to $80,000. The Elgin Hall Committee will, of course, continue to play an active and supportive role. We're committed to assisting with design feedback, contributing local and historical context, engaging with the community throughout the process, and supporting the Shire in pursuing any available funding opportunities for the project. This upgrade is important for ensuring that the Elgin Hall remains safe, inclusive and fit for purpose, not just for today's users, but for the generations who will rely on it in the future. Thank you for your time and consideration and ongoing support for our community facilities. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
I might invite our Finance Director, acting, to comment as to whether there is any provision in the long-term financial plan for this upgrade that we're aware of.
Thank you, Mrs. Vaughan. Through the Chair, and just in relation to the Shire President's comment around any submission of funding we have currently forecast in the long-term financial plan, there is none, as you can imagine, because I know the inquiry has recently been received. And we do have your paperwork with us today that you've submitted, and we can review that after this meeting tonight. And I also believe there is already discussion happening within our facilities team too, and I believe you've been in contact with them, and that department is currently looking into what can be achieved on that site. So in terms of any promises that we can make at this moment in time, we can't obviously give you a promise tonight. What we can promise to do though is obviously listen to what you've said today, review your submission after this, touch base with the engineering team again or the facilities team again and just see what their ideas and thoughts are. But in terms of anything being action straight away, that's something we can't promise because, again, obviously nothing's been ring-fenced in the long-term financial plan. We already have a toilet facility programme that we're carrying through, but we will do everything within our power to try and get something happening for the Elgin Committee as soon as possible, but we will communicate what that looks like to you as soon as possible as well, to give you some ideas of what that is. All right.
Thank you very much.
Well,
we realise without bringing it to your attention, nothing will probably happen. So the ball has started to roll, I hope.
Look, I think the thing you can take away from this is that there's nothing formally in the works at this stage, and you should continue with your lobbying efforts. And I'll invite Councillor Hasty to ask his question in a minute. But I think it would be fair to say that there's enormous regard for the facility itself, its history, and the role it plays within the community. It needs to be brought through the right processes, but I think I would encourage you and encourage your committee to do so. And it may well be, and I defer to staff on this, there may well be opportunities for grants. Maybe we need to approach the local members, state members in particular, and see whether there's something that can be forthcoming there. But thank you for your presentation. And Councillor Hasty, did you have a question of Ms Bourne?
Thank you. It's more towards the staff than Ms Bourne. It's
Beg
actually what I wanted to know is what is the maximum amount of persons that can be in that hall at any particular time?
Well, I can't answer the question, but it looks like Ms Bourne can.
199.
Thank you. The other question would any once there's been any upgrade increase? I'll start again. Would any upgrade increase the maximum persons, including these with physical and unseen difficulties? You want me to say it again? Yeah, I'll ask it again because I wasn't very clear. Would any upgrade increase the maximum persons, including physical and unseen disabilities?
The maximum is 199 and we couldn't fit any more in if we tried.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
maximum capacity
Okay, thank you.
with 2 toilets.
Thank you, Councillor Hasty, and thank you, Ms Bourne. That was a very interesting submission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, there is Councillor Shiano might have had a question.
Well, Mr President, can I just have formally noted my desire that this project be considered for community budget requests through the next process, which I believe is at the beginning of next year, if, of course, a solution is not found in the meantime.
Certainly, I think that's an excellent, I commend that suggestion. Thank you, Councillor Shiano. Thank you. We now move on to item 11, motion for which previous notice has been given. I don't believe we have any for tonight. Questions of which previous notice has been given. I don't believe we have any for tonight. We move on to item 13.1, in the Chief Executive Officer's reports, and that is the council nominee for the South West Development Corporation Commission Board application. And I believe we have 2 nominations, Councillor McCleary and myself, and I believe we're going to have a ballot. And could we have a mover and a seconder for that? Moved Deputy Shire President, seconded Councillor Noonan, and that we now go into, we suspend standing orders while we go into the ballot, and we come back to the motions at the end of that ballot. Thank you.
We'll just need to move a motion to suspend.
Can we have a move a motion to suspend standing orders? Moved Councillor Sharp, seconded Councillor Mogg. I'll put that motion. Those in favour? Carry unanimously, and we now conduct the ballot. Thank you.
Just tick the name if you'd like. Tick the name if you'd like.
returning officer advises that the vote is a draw, and so the way to deal with this is to draw the number out of name the name out of a hat. Need a hat. The name, I've been advised that the name drawn out of a hat is Councillor Ferguson. So we would then move out of the suspension of standing orders. And do we need a motion for that? Yeah. Can I have a motion to remove out of resume standing orders? Councillor Noonan, seconded Councillor Sharp. I'll put that motion, declare that carried.
Just get confirmation of the mover and seconder.
And can I have a confirmation of the mover and seconder, which was Councillor Mogg and Councillor Noonan, that they are happy to support the nomination of the name drawn out of a hat, namely Councillor Ferguson. Can we then move the motion? The council nominate Councillor Ferguson to apply for the position on the South West Development Commission Board. Can I have a motion to that effect? Those in favour?
We've already.
That's carried unanimously. Thank you. I just had the comment that there's no guarantee that you get the gig. You have to submit a resume, and I believe the Minister will be scrutinise a number of resumes as to see whether they're suitable or otherwise. So we'll see how that plays out. Thank you, Councillor McCleary, for your participation. We now move on to the item 13.2, Acting Chief Executive Officer, Performance Agreement 2526. It's detailed in the attachment, and that the motion is that Council approve the CEO Performance Agreement 2526 as detailed in attachment 13.2.1, be signed and executed by the Shire President and the Chief Executive Officer, and authorise of the publication of the CEO Performance Criteria Agreement, Agreement 2025-26. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Move Councillor Sciano, seconded Councillor Mogg. Councillor Sciano.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Look, happy to support the CEO performance criteria before us. I think the only comment I had to add was, having read through that, I thought that it may have been important to perhaps have included some milestones around the ERP. Perhaps I think there would be some measurable milestones in that regard, but I think council has a few mechanisms in place to be able to manage the the progress of that anyway. So otherwise, yeah, happy to support the officer's recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Sciano. The seconder, Councillor Mogg. No comment? No. Councillor Mogg has nothing further to add. Is there any speakers against? There being no speakers against, can I have a vote, please? Those in favour? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Budget adjustment, Tullyallup Foreshore redevelopment. We do have as I referred earlier, conflict of interest, impartiality from Councillor McCleary, but otherwise we move on. Then we have the recommendation, the officer's recommendation 14.1, Notes the execution of financial assistance agreement with the Shire of Capel and Department of Primary Industry and Regional Development for Dalyellup Surf Club beach upgrade. Endorses the inclusion of the Dalyellup Surf Beach Club upgrade as a project within the corporate business plan for 25-29. Approves the budget adjustment to recognise the $1 million financial assistance grant comprising $300,000 in the 25-26 financial year and $700,000 in the 26-27 financial year. Includes the Dalyellup Surf Club beach upgrade project in the 25-26 capital works program. Can I have a mover, please? Move Deputy Shire President Councillor Mogg and seconded Councillor Noonan. Do you want to speak to it, Councillor Mogg?
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to move the motion as read and fully supportive of this.
Councillor Noonan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, this is a very exciting opportunity to upgrade that facility. It will provide beach access for all ability beach access. That's the plan. Improve the vehicle access to the beach and improve the designation of areas so that all beach users should be aware of where they can go and safe in their participation in activities there. So it's a very welcome windfall that has come our way, and thanks very much to the officers and people who have done the work to secure that that grant.
Any speakers against? I would just speak in favour of it, and I think that in passing, at least, if it's not in the formal motion, that we should acknowledge the contribution from the member for Bunbury for his generous support for this particular project. Then, being no further ado, I'll put those in favour. It's carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 15.1, permanent closure of unnamed road. That Council authorise the CEO to complete the required permanent road closure process under S58 of the Land Administration Act 1997. Support a proposal to request repurposing the emergency access. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Councillor McCleary, seconder. Councillor Sharp, thank you. Councillor McCleary.
Thank you, Mr. President. Look, this has come about as queries from the community, and I think the community officer's done quite a good job of fielding all those questions and coming out with an outcome that is both suitable to the Shire and the local neighbours.
Councillor Sharp.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, this is probably long overdue. I first had members of the community speak with me before I even took on a role as a councillor about what was occurring in and across 5 Mile Brook. That actually, that particular part of 5 Mile Brook is registered as a geomorphic wetland, so it has some significant importance in and along the course of the ephemeral brook that we all love in Jallurup when it flows. I have personally seen a lot of wildlife in there, as well as long-necked turtles, and I've also seen things killed and injured as a result of people utilising that as a thoroughfare. So this is well overdue, and I will support it 100%.
Any speakers against? Then I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We move on to item 15.2, Shire of Capel Trails Master Plan 2535. The Council endorses the draft Shire of Capel Master Plan 2535 to seek further public and relevant government agency comment feedback for a period of 30 days. Can I have a mover for this motion, please? Councillor Noonan. Seconded Councillor Mogg. Councillor Noonan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, the Trails Working Group, Management Working Group, has done a lot of work getting up to this point. The focus of the plan has been to improve the condition of the existing trails, to improve their the maintenance, the signage, and then the promotion in the next, the next 2 to 3 years, and then further down the track in the attachments that you've got, or that the councillors have, you'll see that there's substantial funding for new developments or further extensions to those trails. But the initial work that is proposed and that is being now in this motion put out to public comment and to government department comment, the initial 2 to 3 years is primarily to improve what we have, to get it up to a standard where we can start promoting it, advertising it, and the benefit for the Shire will be certainly in greater usage of those trails, a greater awareness of the trails that we have. You'll notice that other towns in the southwest have started promoting themselves, marketing themselves as trail towns, and we certainly have the potential to be a leader in that field, given the quality, the potential quality, and also the range of trails that we have, not just cycling and walking trails, but horse riding canals, and also canoeing trails. So we've got a tremendous opportunity here, and it would be good to send this out to public comment to get their thoughts, and then to be able to bring it back in early next year once that's all been put together, and see this Trails Master Plan go ahead. So I fully endorse that. Thank you.
Any further speakers for? Councillor Sharp?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I'm only just this year sitting on this committee, and I'm very excited to be a part of it because I can see the incredible work that has been done in this space, and totally concur with what Councillor Noonan has said, and just want to congratulate TM with her work, and also Jeremy as well, who I've sat in meetings with, and these guys are very passionate about moving our Shire forward, especially in this space. Thank you.
Any further speakers for? Councillor McCleary?
Thank you, Mr. President. Look, this has been a long time coming. It's been modernised from the previous trails thing. There's lots of other trails that we could think of, but we've targeted the ones that are the prioritised ones for this outcome. So it's still needs to go out to the public, and there was indications that it'd go to the Jingle and Mingle sites and for some of the communications there. So we really need to get a better demographic input to these paths plans, and I'm looking forward to coming back with a whole lot of comments from the community showing where their ideas might fit in.
Any speakers against? No, Mr. Chance. No. You can't. In general, I think it's a very commendable outcome. My observation is it's been slow, a bit of a slow process to get here, but there's a lot of committee work that's gone on, a lot of staff work that's gone on, and there's no doubt if we can get this right, this can be an absolute asset to the Shire, and so I commend it along with the other councillors. Will we put that to the vote? Those in favour? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 15.3, new policy, Shire of Capel CCTV. The recommendation is that council adopt the draft closed circuit television CCTV policy as per the attachment. Can I have a mover? Councillor Deputy Shire President, Councillor Mogg. A seconder, Councillor McCleary. Councillor Mogg, did you wish to speak to this?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I do. I'd like to move the motion as read, and I'm very pleased to see this come to council as advocating for those who have spoken up with the problems with our Elscott Park in Capel and Daryellup Skate Park, the bullying, the vandalism, etc., and calling out for CCTV cameras to be put in place. So this policy hopefully is a step forward to happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mogg. Councillor McCleary? Councillor McCleary passes. Any speakers against? Then I'll put the motion. Those in favour? That's carried unanimously. Policy preview, item 15.4, policy review, service presentations. The council adopt reviewed and revised service presentation policy as per attachment 15.4.1. Now it seems simple, but there's a bit in it. Anyone care to move this? Councillor Noonan, seconded Councillor Ciano. Councillor Noonan.
Thank you, Mr. President. This motion is a very good one. It's one of the issues that we know that we have faced over the last few years has been retention of good staff, and it's been frustrating seeing good staff that we've had and we've invested in being poached by particularly larger shires, neighbouring shires. They have generally would have a broader scope of things that they might get involved here. So Capel is a very good learning place for staff, but unfortunately having voracious large neighbours, who poach our staff, it becomes challenging to keep them on occasion. So we are very fortunate to have a number of long-serving staff, people who are here not just for the money. They're obviously here because they love living in the Shire and working in the Shire. And this policy is really about looking at ways that we can foster that and recognise those people who have made that commitment to stay in the Shire and to spurn the attractions of potentially greater financial reward in other places, but who see their future here. And that hopefully will be an encouragement to younger staff to also do the same. So I fully endorse this motion.
Councillor Ciano?
No further comment, thank you.
I'm going to tell a war story. When I had a business in New South Wales, we were in a position where we were able to give our staff reasonable cash bonuses at Christmas, but a simple gift was, interestingly enough, much more recognisable and tangible and beneficial to their well-being than the bonus. And so I think this is a kind of a step in that direction. It's acknowledgement, it's recognition, and I think it's a very commendable improvement. So I commend it and put the motion to the council. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item 15.5, accounts paid during the month of October. I don't think I'll read it. I think we know what it means. Do I have a mover for the motion, please? Deputy Shire President Councillor Mogg. Councillor Hasty, seconding. Councillor Mogg.
Thank you, Chair. I move the motion as read.
Councillor Hasty.
Yeah, I second that as well. Thank you.
Any speakers against? Councillor Shiano.
I just have one question, Mr. President. EFT 50617, which is the Day Up Library and Youth Hub Branding Essential Identity Package, logo design and corporate style guide. Is there a quick update that we can get on when we may get to see the Day Up Hub branding identity package?
Acting CEO.
Thank you. Through the chair. Yes, certainly. We're just finalising that process now. So I'd say within a fortnight, we should be able to circulate something across the council group.
Wonderful. Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shiano. Any other questions, councillors, or any comments? I did ask for anyone speaking against. I think Councillor Shiano's question was against. It was more general information. Thank you. Is there any speakers against? Then that being the case, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Financial reports for the 30th September 2025. In accordance with the Local Government Financial Management Regulation 1996, Section 34, brackets 4, brackets O, that Council received the financial report for the month ending the 30th September 2025. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Move. Deputy Shire President Councillor Mogg. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Shiano. Councillor Mogg.
Thank you, Chair. Again, I move the motion as read.
Councillor Shiano.
No, I reserve my right. Thank you.
Any speakers against? Councillor Shiano. Did you say you reserve your right? Okay. Thank you. Then I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Financial reports, item 15.7, financial reports, 31st of October 2025. In accordance with the Local Government Financial Management Regulation 1996, Section 34, in brackets 4 and brackets A, the Council receives the financial reports for the month ended the 31st of October 2025 and notes the changes to the Capital Works road programs. Can I have a move for the motion, please? Move Deputy Shire President Councillor Mogg. Seconded Councillor Noonan. Councillor Mogg.
Thank you, Chair. I move the motion as read, and I'm pleased to see that the Capital Works road program is in this. Roads are very important to our Shire ratepayers and residents. Thank you.
Councillor Noonan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Almost as important as trails.
Any speakers against? There being no speakers against, I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Declare that carried unanimously. Item 15.8, write-off of sundry debtors. The Council approves the write-off of the following sundry debtors amounting to $7,384.84, excluding GST, as per the following table. I don't propose to read the table. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Councillor Hasty. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Shiano. Councillor Hasty.
Yeah, I'll move it as it's read. Thank you.
Councillor Shiano.
No comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Any speakers against? I'll put the motion. Those in favour? Declare that carried unanimously. New business of an urgent nature. I don't think we have been notified of any, so we move on to the next item. Public question time. There's no one in the gallery to offer a public question, so I assume that is no. Motions without notice, absolute majority of council. Any notices without motion? Motions without notice, there being none. We move on to number 19, notices of motion for consideration at the next ordinary meeting of council. There being none, we move on to the next item. And we now move on to item 20, items for consideration behind closed doors. The council, in accordance with 5.23 in brackets 2 of the Local Government Act, move behind closed doors to consider the following matter. Request for authority prosecution relating to works being undertaken without development approval. As the matter relates to legal advice obtained or which may be obtained by the local government, which relates to the matter to be discussed at the meeting, and E, the matter, if disclosed, would reveal 1, a trade secret, or 2, information that is commercial value to a person, or 3, information about the business, professional, commercial or financial affairs of the person. Can I have a motion, a procedural motion to move behind closed doors, please? Councillor Sharp, second to Councillor Shiano. Those in favour? Declare that carried unanimously.
2 seconds while we do that. Just pause for 2 seconds while we sort the stream.
Yep. and now move from behind closed doors in respect to item 20.1, request for authority prosecution relating to works being undertaken without development approval. The determination of council has been that council approve initiating compliance action in relation to the unauthorised extractive industries detailed within the report. That 1, instructing Shire solicitors to prepare documentation in relationship to prosecution for an extractive industry without the necessary development approval. 2, instructing Shire solicitors to commence prosecution proceedings. 3, advise the applicant of the Shire's decision. That being the case, we move on and we now go to meeting closure. So there being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 7:23. Thank you. Thank you, councillors, and thank you, staff.